Floridians who stayed behind are waking up to a nightmare. Hurricane Irma now back to a catastrophic Category 4 storm. You're taking a live look right now from Miami Beach. Hundreds of thousands of people are waking up in the dark with intense winds knocking down power lines and heavy rain flooding streets. We're going to get straight to our team weather coverage in just a moment. But first, we want to get to the latest on this monster storm. It's already battering the state. Jay Gray reports from Naples this morning with a look at conditions that are only growing worse.
Violent winds and driving rain. Irma's assault begins hours before landfall.
Hurricane Irma is now impacting our state. Millions of Floridians will see major hurricane impacts with deadly storm surge and life-threatening winds.
Oh my God!
18 million or more could feel the effects of this massive storm. Winds gusting well over 100 miles an hour, 12 inches of rain or more in some areas, and a storm surge that could reach 15 feet.
This is a deadly major storm, and our state has never seen anything like it.
More than 6 million residents were told to evacuate, the largest effort in U.S. history.
It's just scary. I've never been through anything like this before.
Tens of thousands moving into more than 300 shelters across the state.
But right now, the desperation sets in. The anxiety levels flare up. Just one person, you pray to God.
As Irma begins to move in. Jay Gray, NBC News, Naples, Florida.
All right, thanks, Jay. And our team of meteorologists have been tracking Irma all morning long. Megan is joining us now. Megan, you have an update from the Hurricane Center that you just got it about an hour ago?
Yeah, it came in within the hour. You can see here I have pulled up right around the Keys. This is where the eye wall is currently positioned. Key West is here. Here's the center of the eye wall here. Now you can see just now reaching the island. So incredible winds are going to be felt here. Not only the heavy rain, but the wind gusts have been picking up within the last even 20 minutes or so. And you'll see right here in the eye, not much going on. So Key West actually sent out a tweet that I'll show you here in just a minute, but they are eventually going to start to see 130-mile-per-hour winds just pound and hammer the Keys. So here's a look at the National Weather Service. This tweet just came out. They said if winds go calm, you're in the eye. Some people mistaken that for, oh, the storm is past, we're fine, we're in the clear. That's not the case. It says stay inside, winds dramatically shift, and will do so violently. And again, that's 130-mile-per-hour winds that are going to just slam into the Keys. Now, from this morning until the 8 a.m. advisory, so we got one at 5 a.m., the newest advisory, not much has changed. Still a Category 4 storm. Winds right now at 130 miles per hour. This is a slow mover, only 8 miles per hour to the north-northwest. It has intensified, though. If you're just waking up and you're just joining us this morning, it's been over the warm waters while you've been sleeping through the overnight. It's strengthened. It used to be a Category 3. It turned into a Category 4 at 5 a.m. this morning. It stays a Category 4 all the way through the morning hours, and it'll make its way along the Gulf Coast all morning long. Stays a major hurricane through the morning into the afternoon as it makes its way towards Tampa Bay, Clearwater, around the St. Petersburg area, affecting all of those beaches. Category 3 storm. So the strongest winds are going to be felt within the next 12 hours. So that's the morning, afternoon. It's not going, the eye is not going to be close to Tampa until late tonight, early tomorrow morning. That's how slow this hurricane is moving. And then it'll continue its way up towards the Gulf Coast as it makes its way, it looks like towards Tallahassee as a hurricane Category 1, so weakening as it moves northward and continuing to weaken as it goes over land, breaks up, loses its hurricane characteristics. Still powerful, though. It'll pack winds and some rain as it makes its way through Alabama. And then it looks like it turns up towards the Tennessee Valley, and that'll impact them with some winds and rain as they go through midweek of this upcoming week. But a lot going on in Key West, and Andrew has some current wind gust observations that are happening right now.
Service has sites all over the place. We can tap into WeatherNet computers. The NBC 12 Elephant Insurance WeatherNet system isn't just a local thing. We can tap into computers all across the country. And there's one right now where it's in the 70s. That's the Seminole Tribe headquarters in Hollywood, Florida. That's over on the east coast of Florida. And their winds are just flying all over the place. If we keep our eye on this, we're seeing it jump up to 40 to 50 miles an hour. They had a wind gust at 109 miles an hour. Now, that was a wind gust on the east coast. I'm not sure it's calibrated properly, but we've seen a lot of wind gusts in the 80-plus mile-an-hour range. And again, that is on the other side of Florida. So they're big thunderstorms and very strong winds with this very large storm. And as we talk about that cone zone, and you're looking at that storm either sort of skipping up the Gulf Coast or maybe even staying offshore, as we've avoided that worst case scenario of a direct hit of a Category 4 just plowing into Miami and then heading off to Tampa Bay. So you've got a storm that's hugging the Gulf Coast, but the tropical storm force winds are going to cover the entire state. Now, this is 4 o'clock tomorrow morning, so we're talking about 20 hours from now. Still with hurricane force winds from Tampa heading up to Tallahassee before this thing falls apart. So it is a very large storm. And as Megan told you, it is crawling. I mean, it is barely moving here up the coast of Florida now. It's on Key West right now. And the dangerous quadrant, if you divide this storm into 4 pieces, that front right quadrant, basically all of Florida is there. So there's a tornado threat on top of the fact that they've got that hurricane moving up the coast. So for us, showery Tuesday, maybe late tomorrow into Tuesday, some breeziness, minor coastal flooding, some rip currents possible at the beach, but it's not going to be a concern of note for us here in the Commonwealth. As we actually wake up right now at 9 in the morning, we've got temperatures in the upper 50s, 57 in Hanover. Today's high temperature with lots of sunshine again goes into the low 70s. It'll be a lot like yesterday, an absolutely gorgeous day for this time of year. In fact, cool by about 10 degrees. So sunshine. Enjoy your Sunday around here as we keep you up to date as what's happening in Florida from Irma. Allison, back to you.
All right, thanks, Andrew. And as Andrew said, the national spotlight this morning on Florida. But Irma is a storm that's going to stick around. And once it leaves the Sunshine State, Georgia could be next, where people are taking no chances.
Mother Nature and God is nothing to play with.
So you're out of here.
I'm out of here.
In cities like Tybee Island, locals understand the threat. Many still picking up the pieces after Hurricane Matthew hit last year. Colby Smith and Morgan Sampson moved into their beach home last week, and now they're moving out.
So where are you going?
Right now, we really don't know.
You don't know?
No. We have no destination.
Get out of here.
Yeah, we gotta leave.
Unimaginable. Mandatory evacuations as far north as the South Carolina coast, emergency declarations as far west as Alabama. And a Richmond woman wants you to know how to make contact with loved ones if they're stuck in Irma's aftermath. Her family and friends live in the U.S. Virgin Islands. You can see the damage there is extensive. Now there's a Facebook page set up to try to get in contact with people there. Drew Wilder has how it works.
I mean, I've been through hurricanes there, 2 Category 5s, but this was a monster.
Angelicia Corteau saw the horrifying images of the U.S. Virgin Islands once Irma moved on. She found this Facebook page, USVI Hurricane Irma Alert. She was looking for family and friends.
I'm still worried about the people down there who still can't find their daughter or their grandmothers. There's just still a lot of people they can't find.
Luckily for Corteau, all of her family is safe. She made contact with all of them and says hearing her dad on the phone was both relieving and heart-wrenching.
And he was trying not to cry on the phone. He lost everything. The house is destroyed, the roof is gone, and him and his wife's small children, they were in a closet for hours under a mattress, basically praying to God that they don't go up in a storm with everything else that's going around.
There are shelters set up in the Virgin Islands, but even one of them was damaged by the storm. She says if anyone needs to contact any family or friends there, they should try the USVI Hurricane Irma Alert Facebook page. It might be the only way to make contact in the next few days. On your side, I'm Drew Wilder, NBC 12 News.
All right, thank you, Drew. And you're still going to want to be prepared if you have relatives dealing with power outages in the path of Irma. Generators can certainly come in handy down there, but the Consumer Product Safety Commission warns against using them inside of your home or even in your garage. The exhaust from generators contains deadly carbon monoxide, so keep them at least 20 feet from the house. Instead of lighting candles, use battery-operated flashlights. They're much safer. And if power lines are down, never go near them. And finally, don't use or even touch electrical appliances if they've been in standing water. And it's days like today, we want to remind you we are on your side always, committed to being your first alert to Hurricane Irma. New guidance comes in often that you're not going to want to miss on Irma's path. Our team of meteorologists will send out video alerts to the NBC 12 weather app every time we get an update, so be sure to download that free app to stay up to date on the storm.
This is breaking news from NBC 12.
And we are following breaking news happening right now in Richmond, where 4 people are now confirmed dead after police responded to 2 separate shootings just a block and a half away from each other overnight. Police first got calls about random gunfire around 4:30 along St. Paul Street. That's near Gilpin Court. When they got there, they found 3 people dead inside of an apartment from gunshot wounds. Just over an hour later, police found a man also dead from gunshot wounds along Federal Street. Now, police say these shootings likely are not connected, but if you have tips that could help them in their investigation, of course, call Crime Stoppers. And a part of our NBC 12 family is stuck in the Virgin Islands right now, an area already ravaged by Hurricane Irma. So still ahead, her first-hand account on being caught in that storm. But first, Megan is joining us. They've been working all morning on tracking Irma. Megan, what's the latest?
Monster storm right now. The eye or the center of the storm now just taking over Key West. We'll take a look at the current track, what we can expect with it the next couple of days, and we'll also take a look at our forecast here in Central Virginia coming up.
And this is a live look from the Florida Keys. Take a look. You can see the wind just whipping those trees, the rain coming down. We'll be back right after the break with an update on Irma.